Ones, hoping you are enjoying this Tuesday, May 25th, as we head into the lunar eclipse. Unfortunately, not sure if we started. Greetings, dear ones. It is May 25th, the eve of the full moon eclipse, lunar eclipse that is going to be primarily visible on the west coast of the United States and of course Asia, and here on the east coast we'll only be seeing a partial eclipse, but I encourage you to do everything you can to really allow that energy in. It doesn't matter that you won't be able to see it. It doesn't matter that you won't be there on the moment. The energetics leading into an eclipse, and for that matter, any full moon and new moon, is 24 to 48 hours prior to and 24 to 48 hours after. So you will still have plenty of time to take some steps, and today we're going to be talking about doing some ritual or ceremony to bring in, accelerate, um, kind of firm up, or uh, name that which you both want to dissolve and transform out of your system, out of your life, and as well in preparation, having that empty vessel and bringing in some of the powerful energetics that come in an eclipse for your forward movement for the upcoming months. An eclipse energy lasts for about 6 months, so we are looking through summer and into fall for the benefit of this particular lunar event. And as always, when we're talking about the moon, it has such strong symbolism from every culture. And whether you practice earth spirituality or paganism, it really doesn't matter. The moon is significant to everyone and everything on this planet. First off, from a physical perspective, it deeply affects the cycles and seasons on our planet, deeply affects the cycles and seasons within our own energy field, because like the earth, we have the same structures and are therefore susceptible to the different stages and movement of the moon and other celestial bodies. Also, if you're looking at it from a psycho-spiritual perspective, of course, it is a very powerful symbol and a powerful energy working with the emotions and feminine energies, as well as on just an archetypal basis. So we have, from any perspective, and there at PS, there is nowhere, of course, on the earth that you will not be able to see the moon. So it is something that affects every corner, every nook and cranny, every level of the earth, even down deep into the soil and deep into the waters of the planet, because of course the moon is very linked with the tides and the movement and the currents of water, and all waters are linked together, whether on the surface of the earth or underground. And so there is this interconnectedness between and among all of us in relation to the moon And the energy that the energy output, the energetic forces that come with different moon cycles and different celestial bodies can be tapped into consciously. We are going to be affected no matter what, unconsciously and beyond consciously. But when you purposefully, consciously, with a definite action, call in, invoke, collaborate with, cooperate with those energetics, they can make, they can help you make very, very large shifts. I'm tied into another group of holistic business owners, and they've been doing a short program the past few days, and the breakthroughs are being aided by, accelerated by this moon energy. Always with a full moon, we have the completion, as I mentioned in my other talks this past few days. Um, we have completion of cycles. We have the ending of certain ways of being, or the opportunity for endings. Um, and it's very, very interesting, and I'll talk more about this tomorrow, but it's very, very interesting that this is culminating at a time when many, many places are now opening up much further in regard to the restrictions that have been in place for COVID-19. So we have an ending of a way of life that has been in place for over a year. And much more, as I said, I'll mention tomorrow. But what I really want to focus on today and allow for a deep drop in for a few moments at least is a ceremony that will put some of those endings into a new phase. In other words, if something is ending, it is most beneficial when we take an action step to do so. In many instances, it's an emotional or spiritual or psychological ending, and therefore, ceremony or ritual can not only anchor that in, but lead to its next leveling. What I mean by that is that particularly those patterns and, or if you want to refer to them as issues that we encounter or that we have in our lives or have within us, they will keep showing up. And that's why when I'm working one-on-one with people, we utilize a process that allows for reaching way down into the depth, if not the very root of that pattern, and allowing it to transmute out of the body, out of the energy field, or transmute rather into something else in the body, something else, whether it's more space in the body, whether it's the transmutation of something that is very toxic in your body into it now being something beneficial to you, whether it is the transmutation of an actual disease, enabling you to have more connection and a relationship with your body. Many, many, many things can occur. But if they are your, let's say, couple few prime soul purpose wounds or soul purpose patterns, they even when transmuted, will continue to make an appearance in your life again and again, but on a more subtle basis, on a more spiritual basis. So when you do ceremony, particularly in regard to any thoughts and any beliefs that you have worked on and are in reaching completion or really want to dissolve it out of your system, doing ceremony is really important. And that ceremony can come in any different form. You can create it. There's plenty of them you can look up online for full moon ceremonies or rituals or eclipse rituals. But I really encourage you and invite you to create your own ceremony, your own ritual, something that is significant to you. Our weather is supposed to be pretty good today here on the East Coast. So if it can be done outside, wonderful, more powerful. This is a very powerful full moon eclipse. It is the blood red moon. For those of you who haven't seen the previous talks the past few days, and blood red moon, meaning that despite the positioning, or with the positioning of the earth and the sun and the moon, there will be sun rays or sun energy that's still reaching the moon, despite the fact that the earth is almost completely in the way. And so it will tinge the moon a reddish color, orange color. I encourage you to look up in your area what time the full moon will be at perigee, meaning its closest point to the earth. Here in this area, the East Coast, it is I believe it's 9:38. I'd have to go back and look at my notes. But step outside. It's a sight because not only is it a blood red moon, but it is a supermoon. Supermoon meaning that it is very close to the earth. This is actually the largest supermoon, or closest that the moon will be to the earth throughout the year. Last month was a very significant supermoon, but this one beats it out by, I think, 98 miles. So do take advantage of that. Sit out in that energy. Allow that fiery color to awaken and enliven any of the emotions that you've been recently feeling. Allow the power of that moon being so close to really feel. Thinking about what's going on or thinking about an emotional situation is one thing, but really letting yourself physically, energetically, emotionally feel that sensation, or feel those sensations in your body, has the most power to dissolve it. This is a Sagittarius full moon, and when and as those pieces are dissolved or transformed, we are moving into the opportunity to be your most authentic, free self. So there's a lot we're leading into, and that's why I think it's so important that we create ceremony or ritual for ourselves in each in our own individual way. But I always like to share the possibility of utilizing the 4 elements. They are such beautiful presences, such beautiful forces, such powerful forces when you enlist them. in any ceremony or ritual, or at any moment for that matter. When you actually physicalize their presence, their power, you can again have an experience not only with that element, you can have an actual experience of that element moving and shifting that emotional piece. If you want to incorporate earth ceremony or earth energy, I would invite you to either take, there's a couple different methods that I have found working with shaman that's very, very effective. You can take a raw egg and rub it all over your body. If you're working with something physical, make sure you touch on every area, moving from your head downward to your feet, and then very carefully and with a great deal of sacredness, find an area in your yard or the land in some way, dig a hole, and as you're doing so, inviting in Lady Gaia, earth energies, the, again, kind of receptiveness that feminine energy is, and so definitely on the earth. You can also take pieces of plain cotton material, and as well, you starting at your head, rubbing it all over your body when you are holding that particular belief or emotion in you that you want to transform, and bury those little pieces of material at the base of a tree, and then preferably also inviting that tree as certainly a beautiful aspect of the earth to assist you in your new growth by seating yourself at the base of the tree or leaning up against the tree, but in some way taking your body and experiencing a unification with that. If you don't have a park or a yard in which to do that, you can, there's many different plants that are also transmutative. So, perhaps burying it in the plant and again asking the earth to break it down and to dissipate it and dissolve it. You might want to try paper for that. Same type of paper that you would use for your fire ceremonies. Tracing paper is great, burns up very easily, also breaks down very easily, which leads us into the fire element. Oh, backing up, sorry. I did want to mention also that another wonderful incorporation of that earth energy is through crystals. And this is a wonderful opportunity to take your crystals out under this full moon lunar eclipse, and they will be cleansed and charged. I would invite you to take them out tonight, beginning tonight. The lunar eclipse is tomorrow morning, starting at 4:47 in the morning, and at its fullest point at 7:11 or 11 minutes after 7 a.m. here on the East Coast. And you might even want to leave them out throughout the day to pick up that strong sun energy, and then again tomorrow night. And really setting in them, choosing the ones that you will be using for your forward movement into your authentic and free self. Planting seeds that represent this forward movement is also a great thing to do after you're utilizing the earth for that cleansing and transmuting or transforming. And moving on to the fire energetic and the fire energy, the fire force, elemental force, we often utilize that for burning away that which you do not want. A ritual fire, if you have a fire pit outside, that's wonderful. And inviting the flames to burn away that which you no longer want, or that which you are feeling is coming to an end. As I mentioned a few minutes ago, tracing paper is a wonderful medium to write this down on and to place in the fire. Another great medium is rolling papers. Many smoke shops for creating for rolling tobacco, or in an area, if you have legalized marijuana, there's many different shops that will have rolling papers, and I really encourage you to go and purchase them, whether in a smoke shop or specialized store. And there's large ones I've purchased before for workshops, and it's very thin, so you can write on it and utilize many of them. If you use a regular piece of paper, please honor that wood and that paper, and when placing any of these in the fire, I would encourage you to take a moment and allow yourself to really watch how that piece of paper burns. Oftentimes there can be shapes seen in it, or a symbol, or just a flash. Different things can come through. Messages of all sorts, and knowing that what you're offering through that smoke is going to spirit. That's the fire element, represents spirit. And of course, earth represents the body, so it's very powerful if you're going to be utilizing it, as I said, to rid yourself of any physical aspects. Moving on to water. Again, as I mentioned, this is a wonderful time to link in with water energy, being that we're working with the moon. And there are many ways to do this. Remember, water has memory. So you can do a couple different things. You can speak into the water, into a glass of water or a bowl of water, that which you want to complete, or that which is ending for you, that which you want to dissolve, and pouring it down a drain. If you don't have access to an outside drain, putting it down the toilet and flushing it down the toilet. Another wonderful way is to take a nice warm bath with baking soda and Epsom salts, and allow towards the end, when you're just getting ready to get out, to state what it is that you want to flush out of your system, and then opening the drain and allowing that to be taken back to the waters of the earth, and inviting them to cleanse and purify that thought or belief. I would also invite you to put out a container of water starting tonight and through tomorrow and tomorrow night. And if you would like to invite in not only the beautiful and powerful energies from the moon and the lunar eclipse, but also that which you would like to move into in your life or move toward in regard to your authentic and free self. And just take that container, and it can be an empty jar, just rinse it out, wash it out, and write on it with a Sharpie, or if it's a container you can't particularly write on some Scotch tape and tape it on the bottle or the jar with words, specific words or a statement that you want to bring into your world, into your life, allowing it to sit out over the next couple days, 36 hours or so, 48 hours, and then take a sip of it each day with the um, acknowledgement that you are taking in the elemental force of water that is holding the memory of the words or the statement that you have imbued it with. And remembering that water, again, is connected to the emotional. So if you want to separate out 4 different aspects of you that you would like to work with, physical body, utilizing the earth energies, your spiritual world, utilizing fire energies, your emotional being, utilizing the water energies, and your mind, utilizing the air. Now, for the air, incorporating the air energies, you can do a breathing practice, one that you know or find. I always like to do at least a 4 count inhalation, a hold for 4 counts, an exhalation for 4 counts or more, and again a pause of 4 counts and begin that again. And you can hold in your mind what it is that you are expelling each time and what it is that you want to bring in. Um, Another powerful way to utilize the air energetic is through your sense of smell. And of course, those of you who've worked with me know that for 21 years, 22 years, I've worked with Young Living essential oils. I find them to be very, not only very pure, but they allow the essence of the plant and the tree to still be alive, and they can speak to you, work with you, teach you. And if you want to utilize this practice of the air, I would inhale. As much as I love them, there are several that I don't find very pleasant to the smell, and so you can smell them or something else that is unpleasant, taking it in and realizing that that is the sensation, that is the reaction that your system has when you are thinking thoughts that are self-destructive or maybe harmful to another or to a group. And then, of course, allowing that to move through and out of your system, and then inhaling in a beautiful scent, whether it's some of the many Young Living oils to choose from, or flowers. This is the flower full moon. It's a wonderful opportunity to gather in some of the scents of the trees and the plants that are still um, very much blossoming at this point in time. My honeysuckle has gone wild the past few days, so it's, I'm sure, growing everywhere at this point. Um, so that's a wonderful process. Or you can even do it with food. Again, something that doesn't smell so great with food item, and then inhaling something yummy that you enjoy eating. And that goes for taste also, because they're connected. So that's just some of the many things that you can do, some ideas. But again, the creation of something yours and yours alone is the most powerful. But employing the power of, in this case, as I mentioned, the elements, but you can do any process that incorporates some sort of power, some sort of amplification, and some sort of action. So physicalizing. Um, and those of you who have come to my workshops know that we absolutely, in every single workshop, we physicalize by actually doing something, an experiential, and or usually creating or making something with our hands to anchor in what we've transformed or learned or grown. So that was a lot of information, and so I invite you just for a few minutes. We've got just about 10 minutes or so, that I would invite you to begin to allow the energetics of this full moon, this lunar eclipse, the blood moon, the flower moon. Again, as I mentioned, perigee tonight is at 9. Sorry, I closed the page, but you can look it up. It's on many different sites. You're not looking for the eclipse time, but the supermoon time, when the moon is going to be closest to the earth. And as well, we have solar flare energy that should be reaching the earth this evening into tomorrow. Very powerful, strong energetics. For those fortunate enough to live way up north here in the United States, and of course in those countries that consistently experience the northern lights, there may be a great deal of activity. And again, I'll be speaking about this more tomorrow at 12 noon. I will be doing a very deep dive into the lunar eclipse energetics. And I invite you to join me here on Facebook Live. And it would be wonderful if you have any questions, or if you've created or plan to do your ceremony or ritual in any way and would love to share it. But right now, I invite you to feel yourself firmly seated on your sits bones, on your chair or couch or floor. And allow yourself to experience this amazing physical body and all that it holds. Not only from your day-to-day experiences, not only from this life, but really allowing yourself to acknowledge and honor this amazing vessel, this mind-boggling vessel that houses so much of you. your mind, your emotions, your soul, your ancestry. And this is your chosen vessel for expressing and exploring and expanding your soul's purpose, your soul's wisdom, and again, truly embracing this amazing home in which you live with all kinds of physical responses going on 24/7, completely unconscious and without effort on your part. All of the back and forth interaction of your energy field, this earth, everything on it, everything in it. The energetic structures, grids, your electromagnetic field, your magnetic field, your electrical field, so much more. My wish, as always, for each of you is to feel, not just think or feel, but to actually feel more and more of your body, of your emotions, of your spirit, incorporating them into your awareness. So I encourage you, as you're going about preparing your ceremony and going through your ceremony in the next day or so, to allow for your body, your energy field, your emotional body, your spirit to inform you, to speak to you, to reveal to you that which is most pertinent, that which is most accessible for transformation at this time. You may think you know, but there is a deeper wisdom, a deeper knowing that lies within your body, within your energy field, within your psyche. Give the other parts of you an opportunity to participate. cooperate with you. We so often try to address everything through the mind, which is only one small part of who we are. And if in these few moments you were able to feel or sensate something, then allow it to lead you deeper and deeper into that profound inner knowledge, inner wisdom. You're perfectly welcome to continue to drop in deeper and deeper. But just know that all of those who are participating in this process on the unseen dimensions are behind you, with you, accompanying you, backing you in whatever way you ask. And that should you choose to take this opening and follow it deeper and deeper, know that whenever you decide to complete that process, you will be fully assimilated and incorporated. For those of you who would like to close this short deep drop now, take a few moments at least to very, very gently, very, very slowly allow yourself to sensate the process of returning to a bit more physical experience than perhaps in those few minutes. And please join me tomorrow, Wednesday, May 26th at 12 noon here on the Healer's Universe page for more information and a much deeper, longer drop into the energetics that are available to us all right now. And please make sure and join the Universal Healing Sanctuary group. I will be doing many more daily and weekly trainings and inspirations there. So I invite you to just go on to groups, look up Universal Healing Sanctuary, and request admittance. And I will see you soon. As always, it is with deep honor, deep gratitude, and deep love for your presence on this planet. Bye-bye now.